Grand Rising, everybody. My name is Robin Baxter, aka Be the Poet, and today is Tuesday. Transformation Tuesday, Turn Up Tuesday, Traditional Tuesday. And my message for you today is about how you can help the economic state a lot of visual artists out here. Do not purchase items and book bags and things that have artwork on it that is not being sold by the artists themselves. A lot of times people are taking other people's work off of the internet and downloading them and printing them on shirts and backpacks and sneakers and, little change purchases. And we just think, oh my God, they're so cute. We love them. Not realizing that the artist is not making a dime off of any of these, yet the same person that wants to make that purchase sometimes is the same person that will look down their nose at a visual artist for being a full-time artist, because in their minds that's not a real job. It is a real job, and but it has to be respected as well. And just like any other career, we will have to get paid for what it is that we create. So we also have to be a community and make sure that we are protecting these interests, right? So a lot of the times these people are taking the work down. They're not getting permission from the artist to print them, which is copyright infringement. Technically, it's copyright infringement. Or they're purchasing it from somebody that is manufacturing them, but still, nonetheless, don't necessarily have permission from the artist to recreate their work and then sell and make a profit off of it. And the artist is not making a dime off of it. So that's one of the ways that you can protect the artist, by asking the question, hey, are you the artist or are you affiliated with the artist? And letting them know straight up, did you check to make sure that the person that you purchased these products from, did they get the proper copyrights from the visual artist before they printed the work? You have the right to ask those questions, just like you have the right to ask who owns a business. I have no problems asking, hey, is something a black-owned business? Because as an informed shopper, I decide how I want to buy. I decide how I want to purchase something, right? Just like somebody else. Some people, they want to know, oh, is this the authentic name brand of this, that, or the third? Okay, you know what? Just like you want to know this authentic name brand, guess what? I want to know, is it a black-owned business? I want to know, are you the artist, so I can make sure I'm supporting the artist, because this is how we keep our business alive and how we take care of ourselves as well. It's about economics. So it's about economics, but it's also about just respect. So much about it is about respect. I'm going to really emphasize that. Second note is a message directly to other visual artists. Do not upload your artwork to any online platform without having a watermark on it. You put yourself in a situation where somebody can steal your work in the first place. So a lot of people will look at my Instagram wall, and I don't post every day or even on a regular basis, but that's because of one of the reasons why is I will not post my work without it being a certain degree of presentable, making sure the photo is right and all these other things, but then also making sure that it has my watermark on it. My personal watermark, I have chosen to, excuse me. For my watermark, I've chosen to have, my social media on it, and I have my watermark in different colors and different sizes for the different sizes of my work. So if you can use Illustrator to create all of these grand different designs, then guess what? You can use Photoshop Auto Badge and create an auto badge to put your watermark on all of your work. That is how you protect your work. And that's also, you got to step your game up. So this is Turn Up Tuesday. So Turn Up Tuesday is also about stepping up your degree of excellence, right? Which also means that you, artists, as a business, you have to step up your degree of excellence. You can't just post it randomly. In the art community, we like to have this sharing, caring nature. Guess what? If you are deciding that you want to be a business now, you have to operate differently. You can't just share with everybody. You have to have some level of protectiveness with your work. Don't go crazy over it, because, then you also end up restricting your own abundance. So don't go crazy with it, but do have a layer of protection out there for yourself and for your work. Right? So I gave you the Photoshop bit. There was one more thing I could tell you about that. Oh, licensing. So now, let's say you have, because, people sometimes want to use the work for flyers and things of that nature. Hey, put it out there that, people can reach out to you and license your work. They can reach out to you and license your work, even if you decide that you want to license and give it to them for free. because sometimes maybe somebody just wants to use an image for a flyer or for something promotional that's not making income, right? But they want to be able to have their work, or maybe it's a charity, and okay, I'm going to license this for a certain number of copies, so that you can raise funds for this cause. That is your choice, but they still need to be able to reach out to you so that you can remove the watermark, give them this, you make a contract for licensing, and make sure you limit the number of how many times something can be reprinted or used, and it should have a number, and it should also have a time frame. So these are business jewels I'm giving you right now on different ways that you can operate in the industry as a professional. All right. So take these jewels, move with them, move how you do with them, artists, because we have to make sure that we stepping up our part of the game too. So appreciate you, community, for taking this advice and running with it to protect the visual artists out here, and for you artists stepping up your game, because we create a culture when we as a collective start to say, like, what, we're not going to allow our work to be stolen. Just like as Black people, if we say, like, we're not going to allow our culture to be appropriated, because it's the same thing, still copyright infringement. This is our intellectual property. Culture is intellectual property. Think about that. So when we start to stand up as a collective and say we're not going to allow that to happen, then the culture changes and people will have respect for what it is that we do. So I'm going to need my artists, especially my Black artists, to get up, because it ends up being a 2-in-1 with that situation. I think we've got it down. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to get out there. So the thing about when we are posting and resharing visual artwork, we tend to post and reshare and never give artists credit. But when it's a photograph, something that somebody took, with a machine, and didn't have that hand-drawn work, we'll do the same thing for modeling. We have so much more respect for that, but we don't have, in giving photo credit, but we don't have the same respect for visual artists. That also needs to change immediately, because even if it's an artist using Illustrator, because you want your work to be digitized immediately, we're still using a drawing tool, so we're still having to hand create this work. And a lot of us are hand creating the work anyway, and then just scanning it in. So, but nonetheless, that is, equally important. And sometimes, if not more important, I will dare to say, sometimes I think it's more important, because of the fact that we are hand creating it. It's not something that's already existing in the world, and I'm pressing click. We are hand creating a lot of these things from scratch, which makes the biggest difference between a digital painter and a graphic designer. A lot of times, some of these quote unquote graphic designers out here in the streets are just using a lot of pre-made stuff. Some of them actually take their work to a degree of an art. You know who you are. So I always say a hit dog holla, because the ones of you that are putting in that work, y'all know y'all are darn near neck and neck with us, with the digital painters. So please, when you're sharing somebody's work, make sure you always give the visual artist their artist credit, so that people can know who they are, and support the purchase. So that is my word for the day. Transformation Tuesday, Turn Up Tuesday, Traditional Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and get my African centeredness on, get my little African study on. Today I'm going to be reading from my Maasai book, a big table book with a lot of pictures, but it also has information on the culture too, because y'all know I do my Maasai and our art project. So we got to study, got to get the information up. Peace, y'all.